Alright, welcome to LMS Quarterfinals Game 3 of Midnight Sun versus Hong Kong Esports. And, yeah, so last game was, a fucking stomp. Holy shit, last game was ridiculous. I'm sorry if you're watching these out of order, because that would really suck. I hope you don't watch these out of order. I should probably upload them in a playlist. So I'll do that, actually. Anyway, so let's get into the game. Enough of my blabbering about nothing. So, actually I'm going to pause real quick because I just want to look at the team comps real fast. So, just looking at this team comps we have set up right now. Alright, so looking at MSE, looking at Midnight Sun, their team comp, they've chosen to put Stitch on Kog'Maw this time, and kind of have this very beefy front line to stand in front of Candy and Kog'Maw, Candy and Stitch. Basically, Chunks and Lost and M2 kind of want to peel, I guess, mostly for the Kog'Maw, and the Victor. They do have engaged this time as well, so they got definitely a solid strategy for this composition too. Can be a very good team fighting composition, can be a great pick composition, and definitely has siege potential and great wave clear. So yeah, this is a kind of team that would work really well with a Baron buff, obviously, exceptionally well, because the fact that Kog'Maw can just hammer away at the turret from very long range and make great use of Baron buff, while Victor can zone as well. So that's going to be a pretty strong win condition for them. It normally is, but this team I think is exceptionally good at making use of it. For the side of Hong Kong Esports, a pretty good-looking poke comp coming out from them. They have Mei, a bit of engage, Dinter, that damage from the jungle to diversify their damage as well, and Toys and God Kwai this time. It's not God JJ. Wait, is it a different account, or is it just... I don't even fucking know. Look, I even know. He's God Kwai. And he's going to be Corky, and the poke is real. Let's say that much about their composition. They have poke in the mid lane, they got poke in the bottom lane, they got Janna to supplement and poke. So they got for real's poke, though. And they have a way to peel pretty well. So HKE also with a very solid looking lineup here. I mean, it's kind of clear what they want to do. The Echo pick is a little strange, I guess. With a poke comp, you'd think they'd want to do something like a Nidalee, but they banned a Nidalee, actually. Knowing that they wanted to do a poke comp, I don't know why they banned it. I guess maybe M2 is a well-known Nidalee. They banned Ryze again, so I guess they really don't like playing against Ryze. Or maybe Lofts is really good as Ryze. Or maybe Candy is really good as Ryze. Or maybe Ryze doesn't like playing against them. Maybe that's the real deal. It's like all backwards, you guys. Guys got it all wrong. It's Ryze that hates you. It's like Illuminati confirmed. No, but so they finally MSE finally fucking banned that. They finally fucking banned that Morgana. Like, fuck you and your shitty Morgana. Fuck you, Ole. I had enough of your shit. And they banned the Thresh. Like, Chunks, we're so disappointed in your Thresh, we're gonna ban it from you. I'm saying this right now. They're not banning Ole from the Thresh. They're banning Chunks. They're just pissed at Chunks. When in doubt, blame the support. That is the answer to all your problems in League of Legends. Just blame the support, ban his fucking champion. That's what you get for being a shitty support, Chunks. To be fair, Chunks didn't do that badly, I don't think. Oh, he didn't land that many hooks, though, so I will say that much about him. Not a lot of convincingly amazing hooks. Victor versus Jace. One has amazing wave clear, the other has amazing poke. Here we are, getting into the game, finally. Janna and Braum dancing around. Janna takes shield level 1, so that means not much happening for HKE. They definitely would not want to invade without a whirlwind. Pretty chill. I kind of miss the days of the invades, but then again, invades could make the games very uneven very quickly if you had a very heavy snowball composition. The game could be really tough to come back from if you mess up an invade. So, hopefully at Worlds we'll see a few more invades and that kind of aggressive play. One thing I really like about Worlds, they've sort of weeded out a lot of these really weak teams, mostly. And that means that the play is much tighter. Teams just perform so much better. I like watching Worlds a lot. I'm always really, really pumped for that. So, yeah. 3-man jungle start. What is this, solo queue? Just getting a little bit of a leash for the Echo there in the jungle. Chunks and Stitch taking this early Krugs in the bottom lane, but that means they take a lot of damage too, and Godquay and Ale don't give a shit. They're going to walk up and try to trade with Chunks and Stitch. They miss a Phosphorus Bomb. That's actually not very good at all, because that means they're actually going to eat a Winter's Bite on Godquay. He's actually going to take a lot of damage. Another Winter's Bite threatened on Ale, but he does not stay close enough to take more damage. Still, I mean, a decent trade back for MSE, but I mean, ultimately, since they were so low from the Krugs, the fact they had an okay trade didn't really matter. Didn't make any difference. Popped health potion early out of Corki, though. That much has happened. That's certainly a thing that happened. So, little things. Nautilus versus Maokai. Pretty chill noodle fight top lane, I believe. Just watching what's happening in all the lanes. I'm interested to see how this Kog'Maw will snowball, because he's going to have a lot of opportunities to have great objective control with this Victor wave clear. I think the mid lane turret should be they should put a lot of emphasis on getting Stitch to that mid lane, because Victor should be able to get a bit of decent damage down on the turret just by virtue of the fact that he has such great wave clear early on. And then Stitch, once he gets that Trinity Force, he'll chew through it like no one's business. So, and more easily, I think, than Corki, because he has a range buff. And, of course, a natural attack speed steroid, so there's that. Dinter spotted out by a ward. Loft's playing the fool, but he knows what's up. Is he still going to get caught out even though? No, this is just a bait for Gragas. Gragas is going to go in and do some damage to Dinter. But the thing is, Loft is actually very, very low. Dinter actually eating a smite from M2. M2 taking a lot of damage down. He's forced to flash and body slam out. That is not looking very good. Headshot hook to re-engage the fight. This is probably more than what they want. They're actually going to get first blood to Dinter. This actually went horribly for MSE. However, they do trade back in kills, so maybe not as much. Just messy all around from both teams. That was actually kind of funny. All over the place. They couldn't tell what was going on, what was happening. Wow, what a trade back and forth. Yeah, the thing that's strange about Nautilus is once his shield is down, he doesn't do that much damage, and he really isn't that tanky once his shield's down either. He doesn't have great armor values for the most part. They did change those a little bit, I think, with the more recent changes to Nautilus this season. They made him, I think they gave him some better armor scaling or better base armor, something armor related, but the big thing is that he needs that shield to be up to be really useful. So once that shield died down, he was not contributing nearly as much in that fight. And the hook to re-engage was very greedy by him. I mean, they already forced a flash and a body slam out of the Gragas, so the Gragas wasn't going to be able to follow up, and he knew that. I mean, I think he thought he was going to pull his target into the turret range, but that did not happen. So yeah, M2 trying to set up a gank here. Can't tell. They do have this brush pink warded, so they do know that Maokai has no vision of them. But yeah, looking to make some plays early on this Gragas, because certainly Gragas is the kind of champion that does very well early on over Echo. A lot more utility to begin with. A lot more guaranteed CC, guaranteed lockup, guaranteed gank potential. But Echo going to pressure this Nautilus lane. Nautilus can get away pretty safely though. Chunk's taking a lot of damage and a Phosphorus Bomb. A lot of damage being dealt by Godquai and no trade back. I mean, it's a Kog'Maw, so it's kind of hard for him to trade with a Corki if the Corki is playing well, at least. Okay, so Mei going hard onto Loth. Sloth, I think, smells what's up. Just walks away, though. Does not bite at all. He has level disadvantage, so he's not going to go in on Mei. He shouldn't be. And he knows. M2 knows, though, for sure what's going on. M2's winning there, but he doesn't have an ultimate, though. Mei is the only one who has an ulti, which means that if this 2v2 happens, it's still in HKE's favor. Stitch being left all alone in the bottom lane, walking very far forward, gonna eat a whirlwind, and actually Godquai misses the Phosphorus Bomb, so the damage trade is negligible. Well, not as nearly as amazing as it would be. That Phosphorus Bomb hits like a truck. So, yeah, you saw the help me ping in the bottom lane from Kog'Maw. Braum, you fucker, what are you doing? Help me! To be fair, he was way far forward. He can't really farm safely. He just has to wait and sit under his turret. But even then, he's going to eat Phosphorus Bombs as long as Godquai lands them. And he's going to be eating a lot of damage that he doesn't want to... He can't really trade back aggressively. He's Kog'Maw. He is but a lowly cog. The great gear that is Midnight Sun. Or the great turning gears, the machine that is Midnight Sun. I'm trying to be poetic. I think I made a fucking terrible poet. I think I'd be a fucking terrible poet. I think I can't also speak properly because I think I said I'd made a terrible poet, which doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Holy shit. I started off swearing not so much, and now I'm swearing even more because I just can't say words. So, the way I express my frustration with words is by swearing. So, pretty much the way any normal person would. So, at least I'm not a psycho. So psycho, I think the real psychos are the people who don't fucking swear at all. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Come on, man. You never get pissed at anything? You never use the word to express frustration in a healthy and non-violent manner? What the fuck, man? That's right. Public enemy number one. People who don't swear. That's the real deal. Okay, so, wow, actually, despite Corki doing all this trading onto the bottom lane, Kog'Maw has got a really sizable CS advantage on the Corki, which is kind of funky. That's weird. Maokai's got an okay gold lead. This is an exciting game, kind of, but slower than the past few ones, so maybe that's why I'm yawning. Less happening for sure. It's not that I'm bored, I'm telling you, man. I'm not bored, baby. I'm just tired. Not a whole lot of vision from either team around this Dragon Pit. I mean, you have a little bit from Hong Kong Esports, but it's just to spot Gragas or Candy moving into the mid lane. Just to spot M2 and Candy. Lofts is the target of a 3-man gank up in the bot lane. Mei walking out to kind of bait, and here's the parallel convergence. So much follow-up. There's the arcane smash. Did I say 3-person? It's not a 3-person. It's just Echo's little shadow. That's what I thought was 3rd-person. Another arcane smash comes through. They're diving very hard. I don't think they're going to get this kill. Actually, flash forced out on Mei. A terrible explosive cast by M2 means that they're still going to get this kill. They should slowly but surely get this kill. Lumbering very slowly, these giants. Moving so slowly in this wet noodle fight of doom. Wet noodles, wet noodles. Oh, man. They're so fat. Lofts and M2 are like, oh, so fat. Moving towards Echo. Come back, bitch. Meanwhile, Toys puts a lot of free damage into the mid lane. So, good stuff by him. Let's watch this again. Yeah, so much CC follow-up. Great twisted advance into Arcane Smash, right into Parallel Convergence. Fantastic stuff all around. I mean, the Vengeful Maelstrom prevents a lot of damage, but Flash forced that early. They really overcommitted there. M2 actually missed the explosive cast. That would have gone very differently. Well, it would have gone pretty much the same. The difference is they wouldn't have taken so much freaking damage had they actually landed the explosive cast. It would have been very clean. So, M2 almost dies, doesn't quite die. Stitch actually getting damage down to Godquai. He actually misses the Glacial Fissure, so that means that Godquai lives, barely escapes with his life. Great Valkyrie at this last second, right before the final Kog'Maw auto attack connected. That was the last little bit of mana he had too. If he had shot one rocket, he would not have been able to do that. So smart on him for paying attention to his mana bar, doing what I cannot do, which is say, look, I have no mana, better not fucking rocket like an idiot. Then I rocket like an idiot, and I wonder why I have no mana. So Echo looking here to get revenge for the pain and trouble he's caused to the AD carry, but Stitch actually chunks his maybe really no. Janna ults to keep everyone safe and healthy, and actually no one's gonna die. It looks like, because everyone is gonna disengage and live happily ever after. I can't even speak correctly today. What the hell is wrong with me, man? I'm speaking too fast? No, you gotta speak quickly during those fight scenarios. When you're casting a fight, you gotta speak fast. You gotta keep up with it. I just need to make sure I enunciate better, and I'm on point with my vocabulary. Maybe I need more caffeine. I don't know. Loft's trying to zone. They really haven't got long enough death timers to make this dragon an easy thing. So great explosive cast, but no follow-up for the body slam, which is weird. That would have been a great chance to body slam M2. I don't know why he didn't body slam, but you know what? It's fine, because they're going to get the dragon, no problem. Loft's getting a little bit low, but he'll be okay. He'll just recall. MSE not wanting to over-commit to something they don't feel comfortable with. They had... No, they didn't have the Victor ultimate up, so that was probably part of the other reason why, maybe. I don't know. They had Nautilus ultimate. They had a few things they could follow up with, so... Yeah, so 13 minutes in, and about a 1k gold lead for MSE this game, actually. Much more even looking game. They have a dragon advantage. No turret advantage, they do have the kill advantage. And they're actually grabbing the blue buff away from this Jace, which is very important, preventing him from stacking up that Manamune. Candy, working towards what appears to be Umbrella Nomicon. And Cog and Corki. Okay, Dinter getting caught in a very compromising situation here, but he's just gonna dash away using that what is it? Phase dive to get away. So yeah, Kog'Maw and Corki. Kog'Maw ahead by 20 CS. That's not good, because Corki gets outscaled hard by Kog'Maw. They itemize pretty much the same way, so I'd say as soon as Kog'Maw gets Blazing King, it's not looking good for Corki. Honestly, at Triforce they already traded pretty well. Okay, that was a fantastic hook by Lost, and a fantastic follow-up. That's me a great four-man gank right onto the mid lane. Jace goes down, positioned very far forward, not respecting the Nautilus hook. That was a great hook by Lost. Fantastic stuff by him. He immediately throws down the ultimate, not hesitating to throw down all his spells to get that kill. I mean, there's so much CC coming out of Nautilus. You have to respect it. I mean, I remember watching some game. I don't know, I can't remember. Maybe it was Garena, maybe it was like Korea, but somebody was playing Varus mid, and they just flat out flashed when they saw the Nautilus walk into lane. Because Nautilus is that scary. The point-and-click CC, as well as the long-range pull and the stun in place from the passive on Nautilus is just too ridiculous. You just can't get away from that character. Once he engages onto you, if his team is anywhere nearby, you're just done for. So yeah, even just flashing just to respect, but he didn't have flash up, so he couldn't really do that. So you should not have wandered so far forward. There's nothing to gain there. They were going to get that tower anyway, so they should not have been so far forward. He wasn't going to save it. But HKE finally getting a tower in this bottom lane. Godcry with his Sheen making short work of these towers and minion waves. Trinity Force finally completed for Kog'Maw. And now, this Gragas with a lot of kills on him right now. 3 of the kills are on Gragas alone. He's going to be itemizing the Righteous Glory. Nautilus will not be picking it up, I guess. Or if he does, he'll be itemizing it later. He's going for Spirit Visage first. which I think is decent. I mean, against the Corki it works, against the Echo it works, against the Maokai it helps with split, so it's definitely a reasonable item for sure. Great push in here on the mid lane, but so much wave clear out of Victor. Parallel Convergence goes in, he actually gets a stun onto the Braum, but the turret keeps attacking away at Dinter. Dinter forced to Chrono Break early, but Dinter still might go down if he's not careful. Toys actually, this time, body blocking for Dinter, not a great choice. Toys looking like he might go down. Actually, eats the final Winter's Bite, and he does get killed. May, the next target, not enough follow-up potential, lost out of mana. Wow. Toys body blocked the hook for Dinter. Dinter did get away, and some pretty aggressive stuff by Toys. Trades, does not trade at all actually, dies, and this means they lose a lot of pressure around this turret because their siege is built up around this Jace and the Corki. Corki Rocket's hurt obviously, but Jace really hurts. And Shock Blast really does some damage. So, and it's also a lot of safe wave because they would like to have in addition. So yeah, M2 pushing up this bottom lane as well, shoving in this turret, eating a turret shot for no reason, body slamming for God knows what reason. I think the minion died as he body slammed it right before it did. So interesting. M2 with a lot of kills, but he's been kind of on and off this game. He's got some weird explosive casks all around. This is a very even game, despite being 5-1 in kills. MSE not transitioning this into many dragons. That's one thing. I mean, they have this nice team comp, and their Kog'Maw got ahead early on in a matchup where he scales much better anyway. So that's always great, right? And they got a lot of ways to make the Kog'Maw work, a lot of ways to keep the Kog'Maw safe, and a Victor. Victor's also ahead of his lane opponent. Toys has been playing a little bit unsafe on these poke champions. We saw it with the Varus in game 1. We see it again here on the Jace. Makes you question if he's practiced much with poke comps or poke teams, because they have a Janna. They have all the disengage you need. If you're standing next to a Janna, you're safe. You should be pretty safe at least, unless your Janna is standing right next to their front line, in which case you're not so safe. But point being, Janna is pretty fantastic to have in a poke comp, and you should be able to play around a support like that. But Toy is getting caught out in some odd places twice already. So, and it's only 18 minutes in the game. This is going to be a fight. I don't think either team, either HKE won't contest and they just have to back off. They're down 2k, so they can still fight this, I think. Not a whole lot of item spike advantages on the side of MSE right now. I mean, the items are looking pretty darn even all around. So I would say this is HKE is in a good place to fight, if they were to fight at all. They want Jace to land some poke, I think, and K is actually going to eat a lot of damage and actually get caught out by an explosive cast. All the CC layered onto May, and he will die. Good stuff. Great catch there. Great punish. And they're actually going to look to zone Godquai out of his own lane. But he's going to Valkyrie over, try to get some wave clear down with these rockets and a Phosphorus Bomb. There we go. Stitch taking the Phosphorus Bomb and the Whirlwind. Loft's threatening and forces the flash out, actually. I didn't really see that, but the flash was burned by the Corki there to dodge the hook from Nautilus. So yeah, M2 this time just capitalizing on poor positioning by May. It's not so much that MSE is making great plays. They are capitalizing on some mistakes, but it's most the fact that HKE is making some weird mistakes where they shouldn't really. And so, we said they were kind of indecisive and kind of a little wishy-washy in Game 1, Game 2. We're seeing this again in this game because there's that weird split call between mid lane and Dragon. They couldn't make up their minds. So, and this was definitely a fight they could have made. I think what you do in this situation, I'm not sure if Maokai's TP was up at the time. I can't remember the TP timers then, but if Maokai had his TP up, then maybe just send him to split, and then you have him flank. But because they actually have some wards in some nice places for TP flanks, that was definitely an option for them. They could do some nice flanks onto MSE, get onto the back line, land some poke with Jace beforehand. That would have been perfect. You stall out this dragon from starting off because you want to let Maokai split push and draw some pressure in the top lane, and then you get a nice flank. But yeah, nothing methodical like that. Just silly mistake getting caught out Janna kind of far forward, kind of trying to put down some wards like he likes to. Ola not nearly as impactful on this Janna as he's been on Morgana. Morgana making all the plays. That Morgana ban worked really, really well for Hong Kong esports last two games. But Janna not nearly as effective. Nice little phase dive. Little fancy feet there from Dinter to escape the hook from Nautilus. He knows his ranges. So anyhow, Maokai TPing into flank here. There's no one really to support him though. This is a little bit crazy. May actually might die. It takes a lot of damage for this. Empty actually zoning out a lot of people on HKE, which means that Maokai actually goes down really early on in the fight. Candy goes down too, though, so that's a lot of damage lost on the side of MSE. Dinter very low, so he can't go back in and help out his team. Loft's going to stop his back, though. No, he misses the auto attack, but he ults Godquai. Godquai's going to go down, so I don't really know why Godquai did that, because they knew they just had a fight there. He kept walking forward. I mean, maybe he was just overly confident because they had some vision in that area. They did have some wards down, but I don't know what to say. That was just really strange from Godquai. I don't know. Did he just DC or something? I don't know. Very strange. Yeah, but May TP's in a little far away from his team. Candy, meanwhile, gets 1v1 by Toys and does get killed. Chunks gets chunked out, unsurprisingly. M2 zones the backline out, and that meant the Maokai had no support from anyone coming through this bottom side jungle. Lofts, meanwhile, flashes over the wall, so sneaky. I think that's the reason why Godquai didn't realize. He flashed over the wall, so he flashes in a place where there was no ward, so great game sense, I guess, by Loft to know that this is the sneaky play to make. But also kind of poor decision making from Godquai, because being that far forward when your team is kind of split up is not a great decision, especially when your team is just recalled. All forced a flash over the wall. He eats an explosive cask and a body slam, but he's going to be okay. This game looking very different from games in past, although it's taken a while for Midnight Sun to build up this lead. It's 5,000 gold at 23 minutes, nothing nearly as noticeable, as nearly as dramatic, I meant to say, than the past two games. The kind of gold leads that HKE has built up they've been very tremendous in a very short period of time, but MSE has slowly but surely built themselves a gold lead and a small tower advantage, just one tower. So we'd like to see them transition this gold lead into some more objectives. They have this Kog'Maw to the point where he's going to be a big threat to anyone on the team. There is no Frozen Heart to deal with the Kog'Maw damage on the side of Hong Kong esports, which is a big problem. Maokai hasn't even... He's built... Looks like he's itemizing towards Randuin's almost. I mean, he's got Health Crystal and he's also got Armor. Hopefully he will build an early Frozen Heart at some point in time. Stop this Kog'Maw, because Blazing King is going to do some serious work with those Zerker's Greaves and the Trinity Force, of course. A lot of damage, and he's going to need that armor to deal with the Blazing King. But yeah, let's see here. Meanwhile, the Frozen Heart coming through for Lofts. That's great against the Echo. That's fantastic against Corki as well. Jace going with another Youmuu's Ghostblade. Maybe that's just what they do here. They go an early Youmuu's Ghostblade. They don't sit on the Brutalizer for very long. Usually in Korea and in Europe and in North America, what we see is Jace usually doesn't immediately finish Youmuu's Ghostblade. Instead, what he'll do is he'll keep working on his Muramana. He'll pick up a pickaxe and he'll pick up a Brutalizer, and then he'll itemize towards the last Whisper. And then after those items have been completed, then he'll get his Youmuu's Ghostblade. So he'd do a last Whisper first. But no, HKE has Toys. Toys decides to pick up the Youmuu's Ghostblade early on, which I guess can help him kite a little better. I mean, he just shouldn't be getting caught out first in the first place. The Youmuu's Ghostblade will only do so much. Because this is all hard CC, and most of it isn't dodgeable, like it's not easy to dodge some of the CC with just sidesteps. I mean, because the body slam from Gragas is a little difficult to sidestep, to be honest. The same thing goes, I mean, Loft's just point and clicks and then you're locked up. So, I mean, there's so much targeted CC or easy CC to land from MSE that I think the movement speed isn't that great. Not nearly as useful as other stats could be. They really want a QSS. Fight starts out here, but here's the thing. The storm goes down and starts burning everyone to death. That zones everyone out of the thing, but re-engage onto Toys. Lost the fantastic hook onto Toys. Twisting a ton of damage. May eating even more damage, but actually he's going to be pretty safe, it looks like. Kog'Maw doesn't manage to chew through much. Lofts actually went down there. A great hook though onto Toys. His team was not quite on the same page. Story of all these games. Dinter going in hard on Chunks. Chunks will actually go down. May taking a lot of damage from Stitch though, and Stitch will get a kill onto May. This Kog'Maw is nothing to scoff at right now. He's pretty dangerous. This nice little item spike he's got is working wonders for him. He hasn't needed to use his Blade of the Rune King active yet, but yeah, God Kwai tearing through Lofts, managing to, I believe he picked up that kill, maybe he didn't, but definitely percent damage, doing work. Here's a fantastic TP in by Lofts, and he's just going to flank and kill Toys for his team. Great stuff. It goes on to Stitch too, and they're going to get a dragon out of this, so actually fantastic TP play by this Nautilus. Great stuff. The home guards early on. Just, it's like he's a Maokai kind of, but even more CC. Maokai this time though, going in for another fight. Ale and God Kwai tearing through M2 right now. M2 taking tons and tons of damage, but now you're going to choose to focus on Stitch, which is a much better choice, honestly. That's who you should try to pick off. May flashed over the wall, all for nothing because his team can't flash over the wall with him, or doesn't want to at least. It's a bit of a wasted flash. But you know, it is what it is. They get something out of it for sure. They did lose Toys in that play, but they did manage to pick up Stitch as a kill, so not so bad. It could be worse. Trading kind of evenly. They've actually managed to start coming back in gold this game, so 39,000, only 4,000 gold behind. A little less than 4,000 gold behind, actually. And they're pushing forward and trying to get some nice vision onto the bottom side. They know the next big objective is Baron. They do not want to let Midnight Sun contest this Baron as safely as they would like to. They would like to make it dangerous. If they can get some easy poke down, if they can get someone stuck in a choke, this is the ideal situation. So they can be forced to eat some shock blasts, like so. Every little bit counts, so... To be fair though, walking into a choke for HKE is pretty deadly too. The Victor Storm is pretty dangerous. We saw they just ran away. One of the fight before the TP flank that we saw, they just ran the hell away from the Victor Storm when that went down. They're just so afraid, and as they should be. It's a Victor, man. This Victor Storm does so much damage. He's only now just building towards this, what looks like it'll be a Luden's Echo, I think. Nice little chunk of damage from the Shock Blast. We didn't get to see it land, but we see the health bar on Candy, and it definitely shows the Shock Blasts are working. They're working wonders. Never really had a proper siege scenario here, though, because M2 has always made it really difficult. Parallel Convergence does not connect, which means that they have no follow-up potential, really. May getting caught in a really unhappy position. I don't know what to say about it. It's just a bad place to be all around. Dinter almost dying. Actually, saved by the Janna ultimate. Actually, great trade by the Jace. Managed to get a kill onto the Nautilus. However, Gragas kills the Jace when he goes forward. God Kwai taking a lot of damage. And that means that MSE going to turn their sights onto Baron. Stitch, completely unharmed, has a lot of damage. They can chew through this Baron in a hurry. Chunk's going to zone this Janna away from the Baron. And actually Candy as well doing his part to keep her the hell away. Get the hell away from my land. Get off my land. What is this? Oh my god, he just kills God Kwai. Puts God Kwai in the frickin' dumpster. Holy shit. But he actually goes down, and actually that means they're going to actually give up this Baron, I think. So HKE does what they want to do. They do stop MSE from doing the Baron successfully, and they do get a few extra kills along the way, even though they do trade as a result. So yeah, good stuff though by the Echo and by the God Kwai. God Kwai got blown up instantaneously though, so let's watch this again. Wow, Dinter getting caught kind of in a bad position. May definitely way too far forward. He's been doing this all game, been so far forward. His team is just not there for him when they need to be. Lofts taking a lot of damage from Corky, but he's going to go down finally to the Jace, but that means Jace is too far forward and gets hit up by M2. Yeah, and Candy's there to chase and follow up. Stitch completely untouched that entire time. I mean, this comp is working pretty well for MSE. They're getting their backline to do the kind of damage they want, and they're making sure that Toys is very unsafe. But to be fair, the Toys is also making himself very unsafe in some of these situations. It doesn't need to be that dangerous, but it is kind of. Chunks getting chunked out a lot again. Living up to his namesake. That's a terrible name to have if you're going to be doing that. So stop it, Chunks. You gotta quit that. You're gonna make a bad name for yourself, man. You keep doing that. Okay, so more emphasis on the Baron Pit for everyone. That's a really freaking weird pink ward placement because they both have vision of everywhere else in the Baron Pit except for one another's wards. That's kind of funny. That's Rito, please, Rito, please. Wow. Well, that's just because the real Baron Pit has a very blocky outline for its sort of hitbox, we'll call it. We've seen the drawing of where the walls are. The actual unit collision takes place in League of Legends. It's kind of blocky. HKE moving towards this Baron. They still can keep fighting these things. Obviously, they still are in good contention to be able to fight some of these objectives. They just can't get caught out like they have been. Toys cannot eat a hook like that. Dinter playing with fire almost gets caught out by Lofts. MSE looking to push this middle lane a little bit. They don't have much vision coverage cleared out of the Baron Pit, so they can't start. Neither team has great control there. However, bad explosive cast from M2. He was trying to knock them into chunks, but that did not happen. That means Parallel Convergence is going to go down into M2. M2 might die, may take a lot of damage, but he's managing to zone the entire team out, though. Vengeful Maelstrom keeps him alive for a little while, but it's simply not enough. A knock up from the Braum ultimate means that three people get knocked into the air, and another fantastic hook from the Nautilus. Stitch again just keeps getting to attack people over and over again from this backline. You saw him chunk people repeatedly, as well as the fact that when Maokai came in there to start this fight in that choke point, what he did is he kind of set his team up for a fantastic place to get hit by a Chaos Storm. Dinter is actually going to, well, get hooked and then dash for the wall, so good on him to save the dash for when he needed it. But Lofts is just unstoppable right now. Ola has no mana. Godquest is going to chunk him right now, which is pretty good, but what do you do in a situation like this? You call in a TP from May because things are just out of control. What the hell is happening? Corki goes right down again, and May's going to get killed. What the hell is happening? He actually twists advances across the wall, makes it out. It looks like he eats a winner's bite, but that's just fine by him. He has tenacity. He can get away from that. What the crap is going on in this game, you guys? I don't even know. What the hell? Man, Taiwan has some strange games, very interesting games, and I gotta say, kind of fun to cast, but kind of getting a little winded and dizzy from these games, man. Like, woo! All these things going on. Let's watch another little replay here. Not a great explosive cast. Puts him into the wall instead of putting him behind him. Parallel Convergence to zone the entire team out. Maokai to also zone. They do not kill M2 because he's so tanky, and they have so much damage coming down from this Victor as well. I mean, Janet coming through to heal, but the Braum ultimate means that everyone on HKE has to get the hell out of there. As two flashes forced out just like that. Lofts the fantastic re-engage onto Toys, blows up immediately from the Victor laser. Fantastic stuff by Lofts. Lofts has been on fucking point, dude. 15 kill participation on him. 1 kill, 14 assists. Holy shnikes. That fucking Nautilus is a beast. He got hooked, son. Yep. Well, yeah, 9-1 Kog'Maw also. That kind of spells doom. He also has a QSS, so he doesn't need no support. He is a capable and independent AD carry. He don't need no support to provide for him. He got what he need in life. You know what I'm saying? Strong, independent AD carry with a QSS. So this is looking like the end for MSE. I was saying how much damage they can do to turrets, and look at this. They just can't stop these people moving forward with the Baron buff. It is a great team to have Baron buff with. Plus, the hard engage is real. If you misposition yourself around these towers in an attempt to save them, you actually give up even more pressure because you'll lose fights because all the hard engage, the hard CC. Chunk's taking a lot more damage. He's building towards what looks like his own Frozen Heart. I don't know why he would do that. Just build some health, dude. You have Unbreakable. You have build like Randomness. I don't know. A little strange. Good hook, but dash out here. Phase dive from Echo to keep him safe. This turret's just going to keep going down. Stitch doesn't have to get that close to keep doing damage because he's Kog'Maw. He doesn't give a shit. He's got these beefy frontline people in front of him. He's got a huge range to do damage to people. They're going to back off right now. This is smart by them. Or are they? Because Torres gets knocked up and instantly blows up to the Victor lasers. May's going to get killed now too. Dinter onto the backline on Stitch, but he's forced to chrono break out of that. He still does not get it. Godqui's going to take a lot. Amazing hook by Loss again. Holy shit. Fucking hell. Wow, I gotta stop swearing. It's like I'm a man with Tourette's. What is wrong with me? Okay, Lofts with these hooks for days. This is just out of control. Even when they get on the back line, there's nothing they can do. Dinter's Echo not really making much of an impact this game at all. Trying so hard, but not making anything else happen because nothing else really matters. Stitch is a fucking god this game. You cannot touch this man with a 10-foot pole. He only died once, and that was just to use his passive. He let that happen because he wanted to use his passive. That's the reason why Kog'Maw died that game. But yeah, so good play by Midnight Sun. I mean, it took them a while to build that gold lead, but once they had it, they made sure it stayed there. They didn't make too many silly errors. These team fights were really scrappy, though. I think you see, even with the gold disadvantage that they had, Hong Kong Esports was giving them a lot of trouble, despite being at a gold deficit for a lot of the game. So, I mean, I think if they had played a little bit better, if they hadn't had the Maokai so far forward in a lot of these team fights and had that Maokai peeling a little bit better, I mean, I understand the concern with trying to get onto the backline Victor and getting onto the backline Kog'Maw, but if you're risking yourself so much because your team isn't there, if you're risking yourself so much because there's no one to follow up on your team, then I don't know what to say. You just got to get poked with the what is I going to say, the Jace. Really, that's really the only option you have. Anyway, that's game 3, and moving on to game 4, fellas.